2, 1. Live.
So hello and welcome to, if you've ever heard any IVM podcast on their network, that's not how it begins, right? Even though this is a live, we're not going to change that. So let's do this once again. Sexy voice. IVM. Dun, 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 Hello, welcome to Shootball, episode 24. This is season 2. I'm Karthik, with me, Sapre and Sivaram. Guys, this is the first time we've gone live. You all can remove your hands from your eyes and show the world your faces.
I wanted to send people the link after this. Now I'm rethinking it.
All right. So you know why I think this is momentous? Because when we started this podcast, a little over a year and a half probably ago, the idea, Shivram, was that we will start recording, order a pizza, and talk live when the pizza comes into our houses. So this is effectively that?
Pretty much. I would also say you're becoming a little softer because we started with beer. And now we switched to pizza. I mean, let's stick to the beer. And the funny fact is, for the first time in a while, we're all in Bombay. I'm surprised you're not leaving this live midway and just walking over or taking a cab, or in Sapre's case, taking a flight from Wadala and just getting the beer and pizza along, and let's do this together.
So
that'll be easier.
Is this a way you basically want to do a monologue and get Karthik up from his chair, get Sapre up from his chair, and get them to travel to your house?
Yeah, pretty. I thought that's the point of live. But Sapre, tell us, how do you feel being live for the first time in your life after you accidentally clicked on Instagram's button?
No, I'm just here to kill time before the City match begins. That's my only motivation to come live with me. I am not coming to where you stay. Wadala is peaceful, too peaceful to be honest, which I don't want to leave right now. But forget all of that. Why did you do a Jim Ross impersonation at the beginning?
Jim Ross? That is Jim Ross?
No,
that is Goldberg. Also, Sapre, if you're planning to kill time till City Southampton, we'll be here for a long time. It's tomorrow at 11:30.
is it?
How long is this live, man?
So basically, this is our 24th episode, and Sapre wants to go 24 hours off live.
Nice.
Yeah? Okay, but before we get into a break, before we get into messages from Amit, for those of y'all who are listening on the podcast, for those of y'all who are here live, y'all stick around with us. There won't be Amit coming on and giving y'all messages. There are two people mainly we need to thank Sapre for this initiative. That we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube. This is the first time we're on there. So we're trying to build a base. So please come out and support us. The first one, of course, I would like to say it was his idea, but it's not really unique. But he's someone who pushed for it. It is Sivaram, from the co-host of this podcast, and I make the co very clear in that sentence. The other one, and I don't know if we have spoken much about her on this podcast because we kept referencing our old producers, but Surohini, she's been absolutely incredible. She's our new producer for the past, 2 months?
More, it feels like more. But shout out to Surohini for being amazing. And can Surohini just unmute yourself and say hi and tell us where we can find you? Like, don't give out your address, but like just like an Instagram handle or something.
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at Surohini Jain. Okay, bye.
Yeah, that was quick. And I like the fact that you told her not to give out her address, but this guy keeps saying, "Oh, Wadala, everyone come to Wadala. I live in Wadala." I mean, how desperate is Sapre for some company?
No, he knows people won't come to Wadala. He's literally desperate to ask people to come there. So
it's a very secluded area.
Not by choice.
Nobody
All right, then. If you're on the podcast, this is where Amit will give you some messages. We'll be right back. On live auto Aisi, when we take a fake break, am I allowed to reach over and, I don't know, drink a glass of water? Maybe get up?
Man, hydrate. It's really important. You can keep going though.
But how about getting up and leaving my chair? Is that...
No, that is very inappropriate. We don't want to discover if you're wearing shorts or not.
I am today. I mean, there, and I bought new ones actually from Decathlon, so that's a good recommendation. If
Nice.
Decathlon wants to sponsor us, some really nice cotton shorts.
Also,
it works in the
don't
Bombay
give
heat.
our listeners any ideas.
Yeah, no, I won't do that. But
First and last live hota hai aise.
All right, so where are we? We have the football, and because it was a great weekend, I have got myself a little bit of a memento that I'm going to try and wear throughout this podcast, but it's pushing my earphones off. So I don't know. Does this look okay?
Why is it a red? Like it's like Liverpool, Fulham in one cap.
Yeah, but then the Fulham logo is right in the center of the red. So it's basically pushed out, the red.
Got it. Okay.
No,
You've thought about this. You were expecting this comment.
But it's not sitting right. Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that basically describes Fulham. This is not sitting right.
But Sivaram, this is also because Manchester is red, right? So I'll just put it reverse. There won't be any logo, and Manchester is red.
Nice, very nice. And the hole there is Arsenal's form.
All right, Sapre, let's get right into it. The biggest match of the weekend from the Premier League was Manchester United shocking Manchester City 2-0. It ended, and I should have done my research, it ended City's dash game unbeaten run. Anyone?
21
game unbeaten run.
Didn't you send us that that bad meme, pardon my unparliamentary language?
Lesson 1, when we go live, we need to control our tongues.
Sorry. It's just Manchester United brings out the worst in everyone. You sent us that meme of Undertaker when he lost 21-1 WrestleMania.
Yeah. Damn it, I should have got that.
Yeah, you should have.
Okay, but anyway, the Manchester United fan, he's wearing the jacket as well, which he has been for the past 24 this season and 58 in the previous season episodes. So you know how old that is. And finally, he can showcase it with pride.
Sapre, I think he's waiting for you to say
let me
something.
correct something. I'm waiting for him to stop because I don't know why it was a shock. I think probably the best team in Europe is who Man City came to play against, and United haven't considered against that team. The top 6, top 4, whatever you want to call them, they aren't able to against United with. So why is it a surprise? I don't know.
Sapre, this is what happens when you're educated beyond your intelligence. Okay. What happens is you take past information and then pretend that it was always true. If you knew that it wasn't going to be shocking and if United were going to win, why did you captain KDB in spite of having Bruno in your team?
Ooh.
I will tell you because he's got 2 matches to play and the other one's against Southampton. That's the reason to get KDB on. But I kept Luke Shaw on because I knew it. The worst that will happen is a 0-0. So.
The worst that will happen is an 0-0, please. Come on. Who are you kidding? This is live, Sapre. People can actually see you now. Now you can't just lie blatantly and hope no one can see you. That is gone.
Yeah, you can't even tell the editor, right? Cut that out.
I was very confident City are not going to score. I was also equally surprised with United scoring 2 goals in the match. But it shouldn't come as a shock, right? If we lose against the game against Palace should also not be a shock. We don't do well against such teams. Or Arsenal, lower the league or the middle of the league teams we do well.
Would you say you started really well with the penalty being given in spite of, the last 2 games with no penalty? Do you think this was a change in the referee's attitude towards United?
Yeah, it took a long time for United to win another penalty. So, we were really punished for that. But
and then it finally showed up.
Happened. Yeah. What better than to end City's fantastic run of wins and United continuing with their away form. It was an opportune moment. So everybody's happy, right?
Yeah, I'm really happy that your internet is cutting out actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but it's doing us a favor. Karthik, sorry, you were saying.
I think it's just the excitement there in his voice, the affliction there. It's just causing...
Affliction? That is accurate.
That is accurate. No, that's not the right word, I'm pretty sure.
Affliction is a disease. You're right.
Yeah. Okay. The vaccination in his voice is...
well, short.
Yeah. No, but I you know what? About Luke Shaw, I have nothing but praise. Ever since United signed Alex Telles, Luke Shaw has suddenly become Roberto Carlos. I don't know from where this has come about, but for someone who was criticized by Mourinho, and I know you guys don't like it when Mourinho says things, but he more often than not speaks the truth and is right about players.
Wow.
I think it's extremely, extremely impressive that Luke Shaw has come good. And yeah, good on United, man. The title race is not alive, Sivaram, is it? But I think it's just something to talk about for a few days.
Yeah, United beat City, which was, absolutely unexpected. So kudos for United for winning it. City didn't show up, which is terrible. Aguero was sitting on the bench for the longest time. You could see him just sitting there morose, and we've seen him for a long time. Jesus has been scoring and gave away the first penalty, so that made it even worse. And KDB was lost. Sterling, one of the friends of the podcast, Nikhil, said Sterling is the Pepe of City, and it is so accurate. And also he mentioned that he doesn't get called out as much because he's playing at City. Someone else will score. Pepe obviously is at Arsenal. No one else will score. So that's the difference between Pepe and Sterling. But this was very accurate. But I mean, they took 3 points from a total of the last 3 games. They drew 0-0 and suddenly they scored 2. So it is, exciting for United fans.
Yeah. So good on United. They solidify second because I think when Leicester beat who now? They beat someone.
Leicester beat Brighton.
Leicester beat Brighton.
The reason you don't remember is because it's Brighton.
But Leicester managed to go up into second, and I think United now needed that win to.
They're just 1 point difference, so it's not like solidified second is a little stretch, but like 54 and 53. But Chelsea are also at 50, so anything could happen.
Yeah. Okay, so about Chelsea then, are they ever going to lose? I mean, we said City were going to win every single game. So we basically jinxed City the last time around. So now we ask this question, Sapre, are Chelsea and your favorite Tommy Tuchel, who sounds like a character who needs to be in Peaky Blinders or something, with the cap, of course, not this cap, but maybe another one where he has the, what is that called, Sivaram? The undercut on the hair?
I know what you're talking about.
The Grealish punk hairstyle.
Yeah, the Grealish punk hairstyle. Yeah. The blade.
That one. Tommy Tuchel sounds like a name who should be one of those characters, but is he ever going to fall short this season? And now Chelsea now with a new manager pretty much guaranteed a top 4 finish.
Well, I hope so that he falls short. I mean, they are on an excellent run right now.
Like a true United fan.
Yeah,
I hope they suck.
At some point, the old Chelsea comes back and he plays Timo Werner more. I read his tweet and I thought it was fantastic. It said if Timo Werner had shot Tupac, he'd be 49 today.
Yeah. it is grim, but in my notes, even I have made that tweet down saying we have to mention it on the podcast. So
it was so accurate. But Chelsea's playing well, to be honest. I mean, they're not conceding as much with the more or less same defense. I don't know. I hope at some point Fulham only hopefully beats them. Arsenal.
But you say more or less same. It's technically not true, right? Because he does change in like a Chilwell and an Alonso just swap with one another. Like yesterday, Havertz came in and I thought he probably had versus Everton and a very, very, very high quality Everton side. Havertz probably had his best game in a Chelsea shirt, best game in England.
He did. I think everybody in the front line at least has done enough. Not sure about Werner to deserve at least a place or a contention for the next match. Mason Mount was benched, but I'm sure he's one of the starters. Kai Havertz had an outing and he did perform well. Hudson-Odoi is the only bit who's not sure because if he plays James or he plays Hudson-Odoi on the right, whatever fullback, wing-back position. Otherwise, they're okay. I think Aspilicueta is the constant in that team apart from Kante.
And Rudiger, I would think so.
Yeah, but he was dropped again.
Is there anyone you've left out of the squad? Or?
Yeah,
named everyone.
Tammy and Giroud and Kovacic and so many more.
But what I like, right, Sivaram, about Tuchel is he came in, he said, no favorites. I will give everyone a chance. From the likes of Alonso, who never played under Lampard, to even a Kepa. He quickly realized that maybe Kepa, okay, I shouldn't have told him that I'll give you a chance.
Sorry. Nahi bola. Let Mendy play.
But yeah, I mean, I really like the fact that everyone gets to come in and out. Like when we say Rudiger was dropped, he was probably technically not dropped. He was just told
rotated.
Rotated out of the side.
Tuchel Roulette is the new Pep Roulette. Because Pep Roulette is not anyway working. He's getting 1 goal at best. At least they're getting 2. And they're also getting penalties. And Jorginho, I mean, for an FPL perspective, it's probably fun. But I don't know if that game was fun. Was it fun?
I was a little
Yeah, that is a good way to describe it. I don't know if you can type that, but that is a good way to.
Do you think that was Monday because it was a Monday night?
I possibly think so. If it was on a Saturday 6 p.m., I would have watched it.
So Sapre and I were just discussing this when you had gone to get yourself a glass of water before we came on air. And we were like, Inter-Atlanta. It should have been the game that followed Chelsea-Everton. Yeah. It should have been like an exciting game, top of the table. But that also, while the football was okay, we just went away with the feeling of So
that sucks.
I think it's because it was Monday night and I'm going to change track here, the ISL match was so good between Mumbai City FC and FC Goa. The penalty, that was the penalty shootout you will see in your life.
Why do you say that? I mean, the final was 6-5 or something, right? It was okay.
And
it wasn't that bad.
It was 6-5, but with each team probably taking around 10 penalties each. So some of the penalties were...
I love the one where he tried to take it right down the middle, but he actually wanted to take it right down the middle. It's not like a Panenka or anything. He just shot it over the keeper. And if you see couple of the people who finished, they actually ran towards an angle, and obviously I don't know why the keepers fell for it. And at the last second, they changed like their feet, and then they pushed it into a different direction. This guy didn't even try that. He just went straight over the keeper's hand, and then he just whacked it away. I was like, what are you doing? That is not how you take a penalty.
That was exactly like those FIFA saves, right? Like by mistake, sometimes if you can't use the direction keys and you hit it straight, he just whacks it away.
Exactly. Fantastic, Karthik. I love that reference. Well done.
So anyway, so at least Mumbai City brings some pride back to the City football group after their weekend. Mumbai City have reached the final, and just before we started recording, they're going to be joined in the final by ATK Mohan Bagan, and the final should be sometime this weekend. So go and check it out. It is the ISL knockout stage final. So anyway, let's get back to the Premier League and one side that cannot win. Will they ever win again? Let's ask. Okay, let's start with Sapre. Will they ever get a point at Anfield ever again?
Oh, they definitely will. But let's not talk about what they'll get. Let's talk about the game that went by, right? Who would have expected Fulham to do this? I mean, they played well.
Wow, look at him pull out his cap like it's some kind of gun.
Yeah. No, they played well. You and I discussed. Fulham have been playing better over the last few weeks. They've realized that Mitrovic gets nothing to the team, so just keep him out as much as possible from
I think he came on now, so pumped and all.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, and Sapre is gone off. Karthik, do you want to continue describing the game?
I think no, but he's talking in the background, so he can let him continue, and we'll have a conversation of our own. Sivaram, I think that happens a lot. To be fair,
that is basically this entire podcast. Wait, before that, we have a comment on YouTube, and I want to break this breaking news by Sapre because he's cracking up. Top 4 finish is as good as winning for a mid-table team like Manchester United. This is Erase N. Is the name of the guy. Sapre, do you want to quickly respond to that? I'll repeat it in case you didn't hear it the first time. I'll say it slower. Top 4 finish is as good as winning for a mid-table team like Manchester United.
He's right. He's absolutely right. But United is done twice in a row, back-to-back seasons. I mean, we are happy with this. We don't see this team competing for the title anyway. Nobody sees that.
I thought you celebrated in January. I don't mean the new year. I mean the title.
Let bygones be bygones. We knew it was a short window, so we.
Even Yaya Toure didn't get a cake, and you guys celebrated. How dare you?
We have small hopes. One step at a time.
What is the step for at the end of this season? What is the one step for United?
Cement yourself into the top 4. Maybe the second position, Leicester dropping points, and I'm hoping, I'm going to pray after this to Chelsea to drop points as well. And that is a big achievement, and reaching semi-finals again is great. That's all that we expect right now. But basic zarurat hamari puri nahi ho rahi hai abhi. And this is where we are.
Maslow's hierarchy. Wow.
Toilet, bank account. Yes, correct.
Very well. Karthik, I have a question for you from Gunjan Korlekar. He's a friend of the podcast. He's been tweeting to us very regularly, listens to the episodes as well. This is for Karthik. Chelsea's run, because Karthik is obviously a Chelsea Tommy Tuchel fan. Chelsea's run reminds me of United's run when OGS became manager. There is a slump incoming. They're very prophetic. There's a prophecy in there.
Yeah.
Is this just new manager bounces? I think it's Gunjan's point.
Yeah, but I'm always going to support the German, right? So...
Why? Wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, it's...
You're an Angela Merkel fan.
No, I'm more like Bundesliga, right? Clearly. I'll probably even be Merkel over Boris, yeah? I think a lot of people will.
Good cup. I love it. Wow, deep. That is deep.
So, but yeah, I mean, it could be he's going to lose a game or two, but never forget, this is the guy who took PSG to a Champions League final last season. He is no slouch.
That is true.
If he gets the players that he wants, I mean, he can continue this run. And if he can get, I know I keep saying it, if he can get Timo Werner scoring some goals, yeah,
How do you do that? What is missing from Timo Werner?
I
What
think
changed?
you need to just show him that tweet about Tupac. I think that will put Timo Werner in.
I think he'll miss that as well. He'll delete it by mistake.
But it could be, But then what have we seen from Ole? Okay, he's come back. It's not like Manchester United have fallen. They're still second. Last year they finished in the Champions League positions. Over the last 3 seasons, there has been 2 clubs that have been brilliant. This season there has been 1. Apart from that, everything else is up for grabs for everybody, right? So I mean, fair play to Tuchel. His goal will be to take them to a title winning side. I think you have to judge him at that level and not even at keeping them in the top 4. This season, top 4. Next season or the one after that, because Tuchel's not a kind of guy who stays for pretty long. He gets into a lot of fights with it happened to him at Dortmund, it happened to him at PSG, and we know how the Chelsea hierarchy is. It is going to happen to Tuchel at Chelsea at some point. He'll probably get a 3-season run. He needs a title in that span.
Okay. What about Klopp? We were just discussing this today, right? Now that we're talking about the bigger clubs and we're leaving Arsenal out for obvious reasons. What about Liverpool? Germany has had a little change at the top.
It will happen after Sapre was Euro 2020, right?
Yeah, so in 3 months. Yeah. So at the end of the season.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't see. I've been reading again that I think Bleacher Report have put out that Klopp is distancing himself. But you never know, right? This could just be not to impede Germany's preparation. Like you don't announce a new manager just before a major tournament.
I think those are just COVID norms.
Yeah. So, but then I see it being between Klopp, Hansi Flick, or Ralf Rangnick. The reason I think it's the last.
For a moment, I thought you were going to say Hasanuzur.
Okay, Southampton lost. I can't have my Southampton. Southampton won. Sorry, so I can't do my Southampton loss thing this week, but it'll happen once again next week.
But they played Sheffield. Yeah. The only team who's ever lost to Sheffield is Sapre.
Pride that I wear on my sleeve.
Bang.
Yeah,
but I'll score more than Werner.
Here's the deal. I think Klopp, if he goes into international management, it may be tough to switch back in. And out of the 3 names that have been mentioned there may be some younger German coaches who are better. Klopp will still be in demand by the likes of, say, a Barcelona, Real Madrid, even a PSG, whereas neither Hansi Flick or Rangnick are going in getting those jobs. So,
who do you think is this? I mean, according to you obviously don't have an insight, but according to you, who pays more, like national teams or clubs?
Clubs. I mean, so, that's a fact, right? I think unless that time when Mourinho, actually, you may have a point, because when Capello was appointed by England, he was paid a
lot more money.
I think only Ferguson and Wenger maybe would get more in England. Yeah. So you could
even that guy who was the English coach back in 2006. Sven Goran Eriksson. Yeah. He was also very celebrated, and he possibly had a very huge pay. Anyway,
he did Chelsea before that, so I'm sure he had a handsome salary.
Yeah. I don't know how much Gareth Southgate makes, but it doesn't look like much.
I mean, at one point England couldn't afford, so they got Sam Allardyce also, right?
But then he tried taking money on secret camera separately, no?
Yeah. He did try taking money on a secret camera. He got caught while taking money by a secret camera.
Yeah. Taking bungs, I think that's the word that
bungs.
Yeah.
Or like Indians, like we call it, stings.
Oh yeah, stings. I thought you were going to say dongs.
So bad.
Yeah, stings. Anyway, so
back.
Let's get back to Fulham. Let's get back to Fulham, Karthik. All this like fantastic victory, and Shiva said at the beginning of the episode, till 18, right? So, like, bad joke coming up. Remove that Michael Jackson statue outside of Craven Cottage and put a Bryan Adams statue there. Right? 18 till I die.
Oh, very nice.
Take that as your answer.
It's not a bad joke. I think it's a smart quip. So don't package it as a joke, because it's like a as opposed to a ha 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 ha, or as Karthik puts it, hey.
Yeah, I mean, Fulham are doing fine. I think they'll be fine now. Now the confidence is there. I mean, Brighton. The irony is, and we've spoken so much, Siva, particularly you, about Brighton's XG, etc., that they don't score goals, blah, 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 blah.
XG, for anyone who doesn't know, is expected goals.
The only reason they're out of the relegation zone is because they have a better goal difference. So that's the irony in the entire
thing. Is amazing. So they have scored some goals at least, and I mean, Fulham,
But
Sheffield, and West Brom.
you know what? You look at there and you see Fulham there, and then you have teams like Brighton and Newcastle, particularly around them. You would expect Fulham to really, get out of that area soon.
It's not that bad because they're tied, right? They're 26, both 17th and 18th are 26.
Yeah.
Newcastle is 27 and Burnley is 30. So
Here's the deal. The last match of the season is Newcastle versus Fulham at Fulham. If they're within 3 points, woohoo.
oh wow, so you're saying Newcastle and Fulham will still be 70-80. I love the honesty and the faith. Sabre.
Sivaram, remind me, the last time Fulham got relegated, these were the same teams that they were around, right? Newcastle also around there.
I don't remember, but I'm guessing it's accurate. Maybe Leeds was closer.
Now, Leeds was in the championship then, but yeah.
Oh,
were
you
bad.
meant Champions League or what?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
They were bad yesterday, but Leeds, they lost to, who did they lose to? Aston
West
Villa.
Ham, man. West Ham
yeah.
is not it's ex-Moyes.
Lings. What is this? I don't know.
You shouldn't do it. It's for under a certain age group.
But this is what I forgot.
Moose. I don't know.
No. Who used to do this? But
he missed. This
Dele
is Dele Alli.
Oh, he doesn't score so well.
Oh, that was a long setup. Very long setup, Karthik. But okay, fine. Good one.
And I want to show that I can do this as well. I can't do the Lingard. I don't even know what it is. I'll practice next week. Come on to the live. Karthik Iyer doing Jesse Lingard.
You should do like 5 celebrations for everyone who joins and puts like effort to sit through this.
Yeah. I mean, I'll start doing the baby one. Supriya, my wife, is going to call me up immediately. Say what?
Wait, we are going to bail now that we've spoken about Dele Alli. And before I let you get into that, there's a question from Santosh Mohan on the bail discussion. Did you see Jose brilliance in getting him back to form, or is it Jose's blunder for dropping him for some time?
The word brilliance was there and Jose was there in the same sentence. That's the right answer.
Wow.
There's also the word drops. Yeah, it's the right sentence.
But tell us, Karthik, what do you think? Was he at fault for not letting him play for so long, or was he busy with golf?
I mean, Gareth Bale, we've seen him over the last 2.5 years. Oh God!
On the Madrid bench, right? Amazing.
I mean, he's and Sapre knows this. He was making meme-worthy content on that bench.
Lovely.
That's for sure. But he wasn't playing much football. So I think Jose. You remember a few months ago when Jose started giving a kick up a backside publicly?
Yeah.
I think that probably pissed Bale off, because even Zidane didn't refuse to speak about Bale in public. He said that's between me and him, and it'll remain off social media, off anything that's aired in public, any dirty laundry. Jose went and literally said he needs to buck up, and I think that's pissed Bale off more than sitting and earning his 600,000.
So you're saying it's Jose's brilliance that has got him up back and running.
I mean, 2 weeks later, we'll be here with Tottenham in 11th after losing the North London derby, and then it'll be like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, Arsenal are playing Spurs next week. It'll be a fun game. Mourinho versus Arteta. I'm itching to see it go down.
about Arsenal, okay, now that you mentioned Arsenal, Sapre, I want to ask you about this, but because I was thinking today, remember how much criticism Solskjaer got? Ole. Even by you, you're not you're not exempt from this, even by you, compared to how Arteta is treated. And why is Arteta treated so well? Because he's a understudy of Pep? Because he played for the club? I don't know. Because he looks a little more polished, and he's not from one of these Scandinavian countries where they probably fish for mackerel and have to cook it over the fire and eat.
Where are you getting with this? Are you continuing to make fun of them? What is the deal?
I'm actually making fun of the English, but yeah, that was, referencing. It sounded
meta.
Norwegians, I really like you. I want to live in your country one day if you'll have me. Yeah.
No, 3 reasons. One is Arsenal fans and the club genuinely thought somebody who's played at the club and under Wenger would be the right choice to take this club forward. So that's why they're extremely happy with Arteta. Second, yes, he was Pep's cone picker. So that has this added charisma on, what he can bring to this team. And third is Arsenal were in a worse position, still are in a worse position than a lot of the other clubs that you spoke about. So their expectation levels are very different. I mean, top 10, top 8, whatever. I don't know what makes them happy.
Europa League.
And but here's the deal. Can you blame Arteta, or when someone like a Xhaka does something like what he did over the weekend?
Who do you blame, man? You can't blame
any manager who has Xhaka in their team. He's exempt from any criticism for that.
Yeah, before he did that, I was very close to texting, and I'm thankful, really thankful to not texting it, saying at least someone's. You remember how the Jaka saga went? Jaka saga. How did it go down? Right? Like it was terrible. First, it went through that, he's the villain and he wouldn't apologize. And then, okay, give him a chance. And then he gave him a chance. And now he like steadily became better as a person. I don't know how much a player, but he became better. And even in the same game, the comms called him out earlier and called it, he's falling back. He's covering up for people. And then he goes and does that. It's not like even Wood didn't expect such a fantastic assist from his own team. And knowing Burnley, they weren't expecting any goals anyway. And then the only way they could score is if Arsenal scored an own goal or if they got an assist. Xhaka did the best he could and hit it anywhere but there, man. Like, it's the highest form of football.
Chris Wood made it worse, by not celebrating, by just doing the okay. Because at least if you celebrate, Xhaka will be like, okay, he's happy that he got a goal. This guy like, okay.
I didn't know that was going. No one knew that was going to happen, and Arsenal missed a lot of chances before that to kill the game. And last week we were talking about the way they dispatched Leicester, and then they were getting those chances and finishing those chances. But when Saka misses from close quarters, and then Aubameyang missed a couple from close quarters, then it starts adding up, and then 1-1 to matlab Arsenal is already on the back foot. Then they're just happy with 1 point.
Have you guys heard of this? And it just popped up from what I remember on Facebook that if you marry a Norwegian, you can live in Norway with Norwegian citizenship.
Yes, Karthik, that is applicable for a lot of countries.
Oh, is it?
Even the US, like it's called the green card arrangement, where you marry someone who's existing in the US. There's a huge scam that also happens with that.
So I shouldn't click on this ad, is what.
Karthik, you shouldn't click on any ad.
Okay.
Let alone this one.
Depends on what you want to achieve. If you want to be the guy who tells people I have a US visa or Norwegian visa and come and marry me and make money off it, then please go and do it.
Yeah, Karthik, you were talking about fishing now earlier. Yeah, that is what will happen.
Well played.
Thank you.
All right. So any other Premier League games? I think we've covered the main ones, or shall we just jump into fantasy?
Let's jump into fantasy. Do you want to take a quick break before that, like a fake break?
I need some water. So I'll have a sip of water.
Cool. Okay. We'll be right back.
People are waiting. It's live. People are waiting. Look up, gents. Look up.
Sorry. I was looking at the phone here to check fantasy. You can't blame me. Welcome back, guys. This is the favorite part of the episode. It took a little while. 47 minutes. Hot damn. It's been a while. Actually, not 47 minutes. We've been online for a while before we went live.
Do you hear this, Sapre? In the 30-second break, Shiva has now got an itch in his throat and he doesn't want to cough live.
Sorry.
Wear a mask.
Live ho to aisi. Okay, let's get back to real serious business. The football fantasy league, the cup. Let's go through the top 5. A lot of names repeat themselves and you'll be really surprised to see who's number 2. It's just, lightning can't strike twice. Number 1 is Kloppais, Tanmay Gaude, 59 points, a total of 1833. 1833, I don't think you're allowed to get these many points. There's some cheat code. Number 2 is Kai Wei. I think it's named after Kai Havertz and Werner and Ziyech. All three haven't fired really, except, Kai last night. And the reason I know this guy's a Chelsea fan is because he is the winner from last year. This is Anurag Mandle, who's back in number 2 at 1789 points. What the hell, man? What are you eating for breakfast? Can you just let us know? Number 3 is Sabray's favorite team, Numero Bruno. Fantastic name. Ashtray Behel, 88 points this week. Very well done. 1786, very close to number 3. 88, yeah. My birth year, your 10th birthday. FC AK by AK. So Football Club AK, I'm guessing. 55 points. Karthik, that was sarcastic. 1782. Number 5, a fan of Brian Clough, the Damned United. Atharv Kaushal is at 53, 1781 total.
And Damned United is a lovely, lovely sports drama film. So do go check that out. Brian Clough was not just a random reference by
Shiva. Yeah. He's not the best coach in England. He's in the top 1. So remember that. Number 6, I really have to call this out. Wijnaldum Leviosa. Fantastic name, Ravin Kapoor. You just a shout out because this is an amazing team name.
Sapre, where is that? Where is this reference? Wijnaldum Leviosa? Yeah. Any idea? Like, do you?
Have you ever picked a book? Acha, okay.
Oh, you know Harry Potter.
Arey, he's reading to his daughter, na? That's why he knows.
Right.
No, I saw those movies in Hindi, so I don't know the English names. I know Garud Dwar and stuff. Like, I know Nag Shakti and I know Garud Dwar.
Nag Shakti. Wow, I've never heard a better term for a United fan. Nag Shakti. Okay,
Brilliant.
this was a fantastic weekend for people who don't like fantasy because there were so many boring 0-0, 1-0. I captained Ings because he had 2 games. He was substituted in the first 12 minutes and then they went on to score 2. Che Adams scored 1 and I think Ward-Prowse scored 1. Aston Villa versus Wolves. Terrible 0-0. I had Martinez, so that worked out. West Brom versus Newcastle. I'm guessing no one had anyone 0-0.
I did. I had a West Brom defender in my team.
Carl Bartley.
But who cares about
What their name? Who cares about their name?
You know what, Sivaram? You're right about who Sapre had in his team.
Cool. I assumed that would be it. Okay, cool. But the points came from the Spurs trio. I don't know if they're a trio anymore because Bale scored 2. Our friend Harry Kane scored 2 after not scoring for a bit. And then Son only got an assist.
So do you think now he's feeling a little left out, like Kane has replaced me with Bale?
Could be. I love triangle.
Yeah. You know, I would feel bad if I was Son. Like suddenly, it used to be me and you, man. You score 2, I score 2, I create 2, you create 2. Now suddenly this guy has come from nowhere from the golf course and he's taking away our,
our mojo.
So
maybe they'll fight within themselves next week live and then.
Yeah, like the Loris versus Son. Yeah, Son seems like a tough guy anyway. So
yeah, he went into the army for 3 weeks. West Ham played Leeds 2-0. Guess who scored, Karthik? Take a guess. Wild guess.
I know Lingard scored.
Why did you ruin my guess? You should have said Antonio. Anyway, Lingard scored, Karthik. You would have never thought. Yeah. And the other goal was by Craig Dawson. I don't know what he's on. Him and Cresswell, they've actually combined really well together. They've been giving a lot of points. So, I mean, tip is get Dawson. I think I was waiting for you to say that. What's coming up is a fantastic weekend of other 1-0s. Newcastle is playing Aston Villa. Leeds are playing Chelsea. I'm guessing Leeds may turn on the afterburners. Maybe they'll score 1. I still have Rafinha in my team. Crystal Palace versus West Brom, a game you can absolutely miss. Everton versus Burnley, again, I mean, if you're still a DCL fan, what's wrong with you? Fulham are playing Man City, which I'll be sure to watch live with Karthik. That is my date for the weekend. Southampton play Brighton. I don't know. I won't be up by 7:30, 5:30 anyway. Leicester play Sheffield. That might be a good game for Liancho to complete his hat-trick over 3 games. Mm-hmm. Arsenal play Tottenham. Super Sunday. Mahayuddh. Ranveer's favorite game is up and coming. United play West Ham only on Monday. They need a break. Wolves play Liverpool. There are some games between now and then though, but not fantasy. If you want to join us on the Football Fantasy League for Shootball, go to fantasy.premierleague.com, put in H3OMYA. That's H3OMYA. You can join us. Sapre, tell us your leader. By a distance, both of us are at disciples. You are Jesus. You will commit a foul in the penalty box. Tell us, who should we take?
I don't know. In fact, I had a question for you. Right now, I'm preparing for the blank game week, and I'm hoping to have 2 Arsenal players. I have already gone ahead and taken Tierney right now.
Nice.
Should I take Saka because he's the only one I can afford right now? But will he do something against Spurs is my question.
I think he might, man, because he's a fox in the box. He's a very cheap buy for that value. I don't think you should expect too much, and anything that comes is a bonus. It's like Karthik saving a penalty, right? Like that will never happen. But if it happens, we'll be happy. So just go for it. It's also cheap, like Karthik. Karthik is not enjoying it very much. No, I mean, it's not. Let's not say cheap. Economical. It suits the pocket.
There used to be this grocery store, provision store outside Stanislaus. It used to be called Cheap Jack. One of the best stores on Bandra Hill Road that you can find, man. You used to get everything there, everything.
What do you
Karthik, tell us, can you buy points? Tell us, how did you do?
I have a grand total of 22 points.
Oh, wow. That's quite a bit.
But in Karthik's defense, he could have the last laugh because he has triple captain Sterling.
Triple captain Sterling?
Yes.
I mean, how bad is it that you didn't even say it out loud?
When you were doing comparisons between Sterling and Pepe, you should have seen your face, right?
Hey, Pepe has scored a couple of times in the last year, man. Come on, you never know.
I'm
When it could
hoping
happen
for
again.
a hat-trick 4 goals against Southampton now. Tonight,
It
right?
could
Or tomorrow
happen.
night, yeah.
It could happen tomorrow night. Yeah.
Tomorrow night. I mean, Sivaram and I are going to leave this live recording soon, but Sapre is going to stick around until tomorrow night. So
It's a funny story. You know how Twitch was started? Twitch was started by Justin Khan. It was called Justin.tv. It was basically his life. So this would be Gaurav's life.
yeah, G Life. Yeah. That's
No,
nice.
that just sounds like a whey protein drink. Like a protein shake. Anyway, that's it for
Ayurvedic protein.
make it worse. Make it worse. Coronel.
No, you're saying something. You're saying something.
Yeah, he
Will
keeps
do
saying a
well.
lot of things. You're like this guy in the other room, na? He's sitting behind there and he's just commenting. 2 people are sitting and watching football, which is Sivaram and Karthik, and Sapre is just sitting there probably cutting us some onions or something, and he's commenting from the kitchen. From
Why
that
is he cutting us onions?
and he's making us a nice wet sandwich.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
No, I'm genuinely concerned about the FPL team because I've been doing well, and I mean I'm on 22nd position.
21st. I just checked where you are.
I
You're
was
21st.
Not
17.
bad.
I was 17 before the game.
अरे ये रोना बंद करो यार तुम यूनाइटेड वाले सेकंड पे हो हम 10th पे हैं हम कहाँ तू सेकंड पे था थर्ड पे था doesn't matter what I'm going to ask you is a critical question before we close fantasy should anyone who has Salah keep him or sell him let's start with Karthik
I think it's done. Sell.
done the run is done should Liverpool also sell Salah is it time
The time was like we had discussed at the end of last season's
to Real Madrid
football
when they
football.
could have gotten money
They could have got a lot more last season. Probably they will this time, but you may not get as much. But how does money that football clubs make concern us in any way? I think we fans sometimes get a little too hot and bothered about.
we're not going to see a penny of that
Exactly.
yeah just like this podcast Sapre tell us keep or sell
Surohini is quickly unmuting herself to come and abuse you.
Sell Salah. A is expensive. There are other expensive options in the midfield who will fire, which is KDB and Bruno. There's no point keeping Salah, and he's been,
Aubameyang
maybe after a couple of game weeks we'll get to know. It's Arsenal, now, so I mean, how much
Yeah.
can we trust?
You scored 2 games back to back versus Bruno, who scored 1 in 3.
Okay, fair. Also Aubameyang. Okay, and then which is the other?
नहीं अभी नहीं चाहिए ऐसा free का नहीं चाहिए.
अच्छा, ठीक है. Sell him.
चलो okay we're done with fantasy. Give me your predictions.
I
for,
have
okay.
one more thing to say.
Yes.
Now, you kept saying sell. So I'm thinking maybe we'll make this like a weekly game. You know how in I want to
Yes,
say real
yes.
life you have a snog, marry, kill.
Yeah.
So what are the 3 things that you can make in fantasy? Sell, buy, keep. That's so boring.
No, I think what we should do is we should pick a player each, right? Whichever player gets the most points in the following game week, right, gets to do something. We'll figure out what that player, like either that one gets or the others have to do because this person won. So let's do that. Let's play a little competition within ourselves. Fantasy within fantasy.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So Sapre, who's your pick for this week? And write it down because you seem to forget very often.
No, I am going to write it down. It has to be Kevin De Bruyne.
KDB?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Karthik?
I go with someone from I don't know, Arsenal. Pick an Arsenal player. Oh no, Gareth Bale.
Oh, Karthik is going for Bale. Okay, I'm going to go with Oba. So that is pretty clear where our loyalties lie. Cool. So I'm just writing it down because you guys I don't trust at all.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Cool. And it's
don't-
done.
Who did Sapre say? But I don't.
He said
remember.
KDB. I sent a message, Ray. Don't worry.
Right. On
Yeah.
the WhatsApp group. Right,
Cool.
right.
Yeah. And with that, we should close our fantasy. I know there's a bunch of stuff we still have to talk about.
Yeah.
So, Karthik, tell us what is up with Barcelona.
They got a new president and they're extremely happy. This reminds me of this. There's a local club here. It's called MIG Club. Even we have elections. Even Barcelona have elections. I'm like, it's the same. Yeah. Wherever, at whichever level you are at in life, you still have to go through.
Did you go with your kid to vote?
I don't have a kid, so I went to my own and I voted for it.
Messi doesn't make these excuses.
Hmm.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah. So fine, they have a president, and this was a good weekend for them. Not because they just won their game, but because one of the better games this weekend was the Madrid derby, Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid. Atletico should have won that game, Sapre, by a long shot, but it just had to be Karim Benzema coming in once again at the end and keeping both the biggest sides in Spain in the title race.
Atletico should have won quite a few of these games which they've lost, including the one against Chelsea in the Champions League. I hope they win against them. But yeah, and Barcelona knowing, and I was talking to the fan of the podcast and a friend of the podcast, Karan, a massive Barcelona fan. I said that since they know that they're going to get out of the Champions League, they're hoping to get the La Liga and Atletico helping them. So I'm not really happy. But apart from La Liga, just quick question. I mean, with the presidential election in Barcelona, most people, and including me, or like me, or only me, is interested in what is going to happen in Messi. With Messi, will he stay? Will he be sold at a better price, or will he be sold at a cut price? What is eventually going to happen?
So this is the best case scenario for Messi to stay, that Juan Laporte has become president. He was the guy when Messi was growing up, was president of Barcelona. He was basically there for the Messi's best years in his time at Barcelona. So if Messi wants to stay, he's only going to stay under him, unless he's already decided that, I'm done.
So change is the only constant for everyone else except Messi. Messi can keep bringing it back to however it was when he was growing up.
Yeah, whatever suits him, basically. I would think he slightly earned that right too. Maybe he's just done a little bit for the club that he can.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of stats out there, but anyway.
Yeah. No, I would like to see him. Personally, I would come to Manchester City. Yeah. Let's see how it.
I know, make a big pay. Acha, no, you mean play good football? I mean, make a lot of money, man.
Or let's just do one thing. Let's get Ronaldo to PSG. Let's get Messi to PSG. Let's send Neymar and Mbappe elsewhere and let the two of them play together.
Under Pochettino?
Yeah.
Pochettino will be playing and Ronaldo will be managing him. And Messi will be changing presidents.
I think one mention, just for my sake, for the game of the weekend, the Klassiker, it was Lewandowski versus Haaland. And Haaland started with 2 goals. Dortmund were leading 2-0, but then
Lewandowski felt bad.
Whose show was it? It was the Bayern show.
Leva
comes off with a hat-trick, and Bayern end up winning 4-2. My God, what a match.
I think I saw somewhere Haaland, I don't know if he said this actually, but he says, how do you, score more than Lewandowski? Every time I score 1, he scores 3. So that, says a lot about Lewandowski and how Haaland feels about it. Although Lewandowski is pretty old now. He's 31, 32, right?
34.
34, hot damn. Yeah. That is old for Lewandowski.
Yeah, but you've seen his TikTok, right? My God, that fitness is...
What? Where are you seeing TikToks?
I mean, long ago, during the lockdown.
We wanted to end with a quick update that we need one more podcaster with us. Karthik will be leaving us after this. He will no longer be live in many different meanings.
Live ho to aisi keep.
But I feel bad for Karthik. He had just opened a TikTok account, right?
He's clicking on Wikipedia right now how to open TikTok.
Okay, I think this is going off the rails now. Shall we call it a day? It was the first time live. How do you guys feel? How much sweat is there? I saw you going and decreasing your AC temperature. So
I actually switched it off. My AC is really good.
So that means you're feeling good as well.
I'm really happy, especially in this Bombay heat. It's pretty incredible.
I mean, at least you and I are wearing t-shirts. Sapre, you're sitting there with a jacket.
Yeah,
I am, because I have to. This is the team I support. I will do it for them, and it's great in Vadala. The weather is fantastic. It's on top hill. It's a hill. Okay, so it's nice breeze and everything else is fine.
Okay. Absolutely. Okay, great. It's been a lot of fun from us. We've had some hills, we've had some peaks, and we've also had some valleys during this live session, most of which came from Sapre. But we will come back with this next week. We're on Sivaram. Where all are we on? We're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, we're on the IVM network. If you just listen to this as a podcast, we're on the IVM network. We're on every other major podcast platform as well. One very important thing, go and rate us on all podcast platforms, on Google, on iTunes. Does Spotify allow ratings? Let go and rate us on Spotify, rate us on Ghana, rate us on... I don't even know if IVM has the option to rate, but go rate us there. Tweet.
Uber, Ola, wherever.
Everywhere,
just rate us.
Everywhere. In
Zomato.
When you have to tip the driver on Ola, do that and put in a comment saying, listen to Football, Shootball.
Yeah, that'll be lovely. That'll be lovely. Or don't take Uber. Just sit at home and just just rate us really highly.
That too. Or maybe you don't have to take the Uber. Book it from here A to B and tip the driver. I mean,
Yeah, that is how we make jobs in this country.
all right. So this was Live to Aisi. We hope you enjoyed it. Please let us know. We're on Twitter, Sivaram
At Fickleberry Han on Instagram and Twitter. Ideally Twitter. Tweet to me at hashtag and use hashtag football shootball, obviously. Sapre.
I'm trying to getting used to Twitter. It's Sapre at Twitter. I need to.
Yeah, Sapre
Sapre at Twitter. तो मेरे Twitter का account हो क्या? At Sapre.
At Sapre on Twitter. I'm too old right now for this shit, and now this is Twitch. God, Shiva, this is your idea. This is a marketer's wet dream, right? All these new apps and functionalities that you want to try, your pet projects you're doing here.
You sound like my father. The next one. ये तो तुम्हारा सपना था.
Old people have to be part of all of this suddenly.
Twitch.
Awesome. And I am Karthik at IRANT, which is IYERANT on Twitter and Instagram. This is Football Shootball. Recognize.